fuck over here. Ben Mintz,
Still alive.
who no longer works at Barstool.
Still do. Still alive.
Okay.
In the flesh.
That's your opinion. So you are here. Now, last week you put out a video
Here, come
of
stand.
you,
Right.
of you hitting the rope ladder.
You got it, you got it, you got it. Oh, Speed Demon, Speed Demon.
Speed Demon, yes.
It's probably the first time I've ever been called Speed Demon, I think.
Okay, all right. We would like to see a live demonstration of your footwork.
Okay.
So we don't have a ladder, but if you can...
I know what you're asking.
If you, okay, I don't have to explain anymore. Speed Demon.
This is Riverdance.
This is DDR.
Speed Demon, Speed Demon.
Oh, you're back.
You got it, you got it.
That's hot.
You got it, you got it, you got it. Speed Demon, Speed Demon. Yes, yes.
Yes!
Can't really say I nailed it, but
No,
No, you did
nailed it
exactly
head
what
on.
you were supposed to do.
You nailed it head on.
Wow, that was electric. How's life going?
life's good, man. Good.
And we walk in, no one's fucking here. No one. That whole area, that was, it was so stunningly silent.
Give me like a 15 count and then we're good.
Who's that guy?
I mean, he's hustling.
He's sweating.
He's hustling.
He's working his ass off.
I like that guy.
Respect. Yeah.
That's what
He
you
was
should
jacked.
do. You should be fucking on the hop.
Yeah, that was great.
Okay, first rundown back in the Barstool-owned world. And it got off to a bang today. We were on Barstool Radio doing it, but that whole trash section down there.
It's the loser pen / trash pen / pig pen.
Nobody was here.
Those are the names he's been throwing.
Nobody was here.
How stupid is this fucking company? Like, I bought it, I've owned it back for less than 24 hours. And what time is it right now? 9:45. We got a couple people over here. These motherfuckers don't show up. I'm only in the office for a fucking week. What the fuck are these idiots doing?
It was dead ass empty to the point it was so silent that I was like in my office. I'm like,
You hear your keys
I'm
clacking.
like, I looked at my phone. I'm like, is it still like 8 a.m.? No, it was 10 a.m. Nobody here. I got furious. I was legit mad. It's like, people know I'm here. I just bought the company. No one's fucking here. So that was an interesting way to start it. Robbie, you were super late. I had diarrhea.
I did.
Hey,
It's
listen,
tough.
there's
Listen, I was excited about the whole Barstool thing yesterday. I said I'm going to get myself my favorite meal. I got a burger, jalapeno bacon, mushroom burger. It went right through me, Dave. It went right through me.
Because
New Tiffany Gomez picture just dropped. The crazy plane lady. Tiffany Gomez tweeted and Instagrammed a new picture of herself with the caption, "One moment doesn't define you, but it can define your purpose. Hashtag self-love, hashtag empowerment, hashtag motivation, hashtag stay tuned." And if you go to TiffanyGomez.com, the only thing there is a link to the video of her addressing the public for the first time. My queen. I love her.
I love
She's
her
so
too.
right. Do not let one moment define you.
Agreed.
And I'd like to spend the rest of my life with her.
Agreed.
Now,
She's so cute.
she's very attractive.
Yeah.
I would be so pissed if I was on that plane that had to deboard because this woman's screaming nonsense. That would fucking.
But
I'd be
did they
thank you
that would
for warning me.
infuriate.
Thank
Yeah,
you for
yeah,
warning
yeah.
me. Like,
You guys would have
Didn't
lost
they
your
deboard
shit.
that plane? They deboarded that plane?
Yes,
Did
they
they?
deboarded the plane.
Oh, that was good.
Oh.
She was a public servant looking out for safety.
No, that would if that happened to you guys.
Why? 'Cause of hysteria? I did not hear that
She
they
looked
deboarded
like
the
it.
I heard they deboarded the plane. Now maybe I'm wrong, but that's what I heard.
I personally would have deboarded the plane. If she was on my plane and she's saying all that shit, I believe her. I believe everything she says, especially now. Also, though, yeah, we haven't heard exactly what happened to her, right? Like, she hasn't said, like, oh, I was, like, on drugs or I took an edible or, like, whatever. Like, she just...
No, she hasn't said
had,
like
a
what she
breakdown.
saw or whatever. What the
Then I'm
briefing
still
was.
on her
We're trying to get her on
fucking
Barstool Radio. I know some DMs have been
Yeah.
exchanged.
Oh, yeah?
Not
Shit.
between me, between the I think
Right,
me,
right,
Barstool. Yeah, I mean, I would just love to know the story, but
Me
I'm sure
too.
like this could be. What is she gonna launch an OnlyFans? She gave the
I
feed
don't
away.
know.
She gave the feed away. People were saying she shouldn't have given the bare feed away already in
I
that
know.
picture. She
I
gave-
know. She did
gave
give the feed
feed
away. Here's the thing,
I would
though.
look
Can she only
for
do an
research purposes. I'd
OnlyFans?
probably subscribe to that OnlyFans.
Can she
for
only do an
research.
OnlyFans because she's hot? What if she has more to her? What if she's,
She can do both.
So you want to date this woman?
Yeah.
I want to marry her.
Okay, let's say you marry her.
I want death to do us part.
Let's say you marry her,
Yeah.
and then a year later she does this stuff again on the plane. You can't get upset because
Why would you get upset?
I would not get upset.
so she starts screaming. You're all packed up, ready to go on a trip. You sit down, you're relaxed on the plane, and she starts screaming.
I'd get a little angry, and then I'd look at her and I'd say, "All's forgiven."
You know what? I know it's for the after show, but I got to do it. The picture of the Tungsten Group. John Rich. I'm tired of dicking around with these topics. Let's talk about your picture.
Let's talk about it.
Let's talk about
It
it.
was bad lighting. It was a tough. I was put in a tough
Everybody else
spot.
was in the same light.
No, that's not true. It's dark in there. Certain bulb shine.
So there he is, right? God damn.
I hadn't seen this.
How do you look like that?
You look like you're from the Addams family.
Oh my God.
He does. He's got a lurch look to him.
Your eyeballs look like the goggles you wear in a tanning bed.
You know, I have hit the tanning room a couple times lately.
Oh my God.
It was a bad eye day. I don't know what I can say. It was a bad life day.
Sir, there you go.
Oh.
You both look.
That
you
is
look dead. You look to be a serial
You
killer.
did this on purpose.
I did go for like the
How do you do
serious
that on
look, but
You're
I
going
didn't know
for
that was
hard,
going
right?
to happen.
Because Nick went for hard in his
I went
picture
for hard.
too.
Yeah, as a rock.
And yeah, it's a hell of a picture.
But notice, scroll up to the top one. Look at Ken Jack.
Yep.
Look at John. Now scroll to that one where it's zoomed in. Folks, that's two different photos. He looks the same. This is not a stroke of luck. That's what you look like.
That is you. That's who you are.
It's what I looked like last night.
Oh God.
You do look better right now.
Thank you, Big T.
If that's any
Yeah,
consolation.
this is the worst I've ever seen you.
That is the worst.
You're not a bad looking guy. You're not a mean looking guy.
Very sickly.
Dude, if you were laying in a casket, you know, how, like when you go to a funeral and you're just like, he looks good. You couldn't say that, and you're alive.
Have you seen? Have you
Have
seen Vogue models lately?
Have I seen what?
Have you seen like Vogue models lately?
Yeah.
No, John. You don't look like a Vogue model.
Pull up some models. Pull up some, maybe a Ralph Simons model. Actually, it's in my blog. Go look at the blog.
Well, you're just trying to get numbers for your blog at this point.
Pete Davidson also.
Every time it zooms in.
What do they call him? Jaundice Rich?
They called you Jaundice Rich.
That's good stuff.
John Rich looks like if
scrolling,
heroin
keep
had a
scrolling,
heroin
Jack.
problem.
Oh God.
More like John Poor.
That one
My
hurts
God,
the most.
John Rich looks ghastly. You never want ghastly.
Look
to be
at
thrown
what
up.
Nate texted him. You got to blog that picture after you finish sucking blood from an unsuspecting bypasser.
Well, that's not. That's what models look like these days.
Yeah.
If you were a family member of mine and I saw that picture, I'd be concerned.
I'm worried about receiving a phone call any hour now.
From your family.
You know when like a tragedy happens and then they're like, we found the person that did it, and you see the picture, you're like, that makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah, we should have seen this coming.
Yeah. Oh my God.
He's staring through my
He's
soul.
Yeah.
He's not looking at me, he's looking through me.
Oh.
You go out to a bar and you're in a crowd and you just see those eyes staring at
Lock
you the whole
eyes.
time.
It's like the Always Sunny. Yeah.
All right. All right.
Dude, that's a man that if you walk into a movie theater alone, I'm leaving. If I see that person in a movie theater, I'm packing my
You
bag.
see that person in the lobby, you're leaving.
Yeah.
You don't even wait to see if he's in the movie with you.
Did I look
Don't
that
sell this
scary?
man
Did you
an
think I
overcoat.
looked that scary
John,
when
look
I
at
walked
yourself.
into the
You
bar?
can't even look at yourself right now.
Before the pic, I've seen myself in the picture, Brandon. Did you think I looked that scary when I walked
Chris
in?
Klemmer's
to
in the
meet you?
picture, and we're not talking about it.
In real life, though.
Oh God, the blur.
That is terrifying.
This is like Dahmer in all the school club photos. Oh God.
All right.
Our first topic, conveniently enough, is the NBA playoffs. Last night, Game 7 in Boston. Boston defeated the Philadelphia 76ers, who are up 3-2 in the series. Smitty, I'll start with you.
I'm probably the worst person to start with because I knew it was going to happen. I said it after the Hawks series when they blew it 2 years ago. Doc Rivers shouldn't be the head coach. There needs to be fundamental changes made to this team from the top to the bottom. I do not trust them at all. Specifically this year, I said in Game 1, I will not give this team the benefit of the doubt until they earn it. And by earning it, meaning get past the Eastern Conference semis. I just wouldn't. And it didn't happen. And I thought about it. I thought about coming around in Game 6 when they were up. It didn't happen, and you just knew what was going to go down yesterday. You just knew it. And it literally is what it is. Hank.
Maxwell, your opening statement.
I have had a little bit of a different look at it than Smitty. I really like to, be optimistic towards my teams. I saw James Harden's game 1. I was like, all right, we have a go-to guy. Like Embiid wasn't even on the floor, and we got a guy who can hit a step-back game winner, and then he did it again. And I was like, you know what? Maybe this team can be different. Tyrese Maxey started to show up. And that was like another year of experience from him. Now we really got three stars in my mind that can get it done in the playoffs. And then it was the same old thing every single game 7. And it just makes you reconsider everything you think about the team.
The team's over. It's the process is officially over. You know what happened?
But it was all in one game. Like if they win that game, then it's like
then it's all in.
Then it's all in.
It's all in again.
It went from like there was no in between. It was like 100%. This team is different. We're going to the finals. We could win this thing. To
it's over.
It's over. And it's crazy. One game can do that, but one game really, really did.
I don't know if you know this, but 11 years ago, do you know what happened in the NBA playoffs with the Sixers?
No, do tell.
So they had J. Rue Holiday and Andre Iguodala.
J. Rue?
J. Rue?
J. Rue Holiday and Andre Iguodala take the Celtics to Game 7 in the Eastern Conference semifinals.
Yeah.
That's what happened. And they couldn't get past them.
Who won?
You know exactly.
The Uncut Gems game.
And that's when the process started because they weren't good enough to make that leap. And the past 11 years, we're in the same exact fucking spot.
Let's jump into some stats. Credit to Jason Tatum. He was drafted 3rd in the NBA draft. I forget who had the first pick that year. But let's jump into some stats. Smitty, doom and gloom, thought they were going to lose the whole time. But they were only down 3 going into halftime. They were fighting in the first half. It seemed pretty competitive. Where was your head at halftime? Were you just like, from the whole game, they're going to lose, they're going to lose, they're going to lose?
No. I thought they had a chance in Game 7. I thought Game 6 was their Game 7. They had to win Game 6 to even have a chance. Game 7 was with it. Like, P.J. Tucker came out firing, and Embiid ended up with, 13 in the first half. They could have played better. The Celtics weren't playing good, aside from Tatum. But you think, hey, maybe the fucking guy who scored 25 points in the first half will be guarded a little better. There'll be some adjustments going on. You'll come out with the fire in your dick and maybe, just maybe, score more than 10 points in the third quarter. But nope, they get outscored 33-10 in the third quarter, which is factually the worst quarter lopside in NBA Game 7 history. And what more can you say? Yeah, you have a chance at halftime when you're down 3, especially when you come out. Tobias Harris hits a 3, you tie the game up. It was 55-55 with 11 minutes to go in the third quarter, and they lost by 30. Like, excuse me?
Congrats on the house.
Making real estate moves?
Yeah, it's crazy. The amount of time and effort that was spent to keep that private, to have it just go nuclear the second half. Our own people writing articles, but it was already out by the time. I guess you'll never. I knew this.
Radio today. I think that the level of your real estate moves, our news, is like the craziest level of fame to me. Like what? And
there's no way to keep it quiet. Like if you get, there's just too many, and that's not just me. Anybody. There's like too many people involved in the process of like getting a house for, I guess, to ever be quiet.
So that's just like some lone originator sees the name and is like, hey,
fucking, yeah. There's so many people. Why they want to like leak it or tell like local.
Well,
I mean, it's
they get
always
clicks. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's always in the real estate agent to leak it because they want to be like, oh, you have real estate. I don't think mine did, but yeah, and then I went viral and like some like the union people coming at me again. I knew this would happen because we went layoffs and then. But anyone who knows you buying a house, like this thing was being done before I knew I was getting back the company. It's not like, oh, I got the company back. So it is what it is. I'm very excited. It's my favorite place on earth. So yeah, no, I'm happy about it.
Did we get to the bottom of the tunnel?
I don't have those tunnels. I don't know what they're talking about.
Those are Elio's tunnels.
Yeah, Elio. I saw dead serious people were congratulating Elio. And he was accepting it. He's like, thank you, like worked hard, like I'm very excited. So
Yeah.
So the
He's just
tunnels
like
just don't exist, or you just didn't know about? You don't know.
No,
about
there are no tunnels.
Oh, okay.
I don't know what that. There's something that's like I would call akin to a basement, but it doesn't connect. Really champagne problems here, but there's a house in the front right on the water, and there's a house back with the pool. Those two are not connected by underground tunnels.
Are you sure? Did you check?
No, I'm not sure.
We need a
I'm
tunnel.
not sure.
You need a tunnel. I just love the idea that like you call Elio and like I bought a house, and he's just like sits there. He's like, I bought a house. Like,
That's what I did. He was showing. I saw a video. He's like showing his kids pictures. He's like, look at our house.
Listen. What's going? The $42 million man, huh? The $42 million man. I didn't know it was the biggest purchase in Massachusetts. You might want to let me know about that. I'm so glad I don't have to rent anymore. It's such a great thing. This friggin' thing must be loaded, huh? Elliot, must be loaded, right? It's got a friggin' tunnel. You want to go in a tunnel? No. Yeah. I want to go in a tunnel. I mean, what type of... why does it say it has a tunnel? What the hell's a tunnel for? Nantucket living, baby.
Like, that's where they're going to be in the summer. Like, the pool's
Fasoli.
here.
By the way, Fasoli just told me before we started that now to write like the blog and put the house in the rundown, they're trying to charge us $1,000.
Yeah,
for
they
pictures.
told us not to put it anywhere. Your house is getting. We're
Your
getting charged for
house!
your house.
Your house, Steve.
Yeah.
Elio's house.
Wait, what?
Like the real estate photographer who took those pictures owns those pictures. So when we try to blog it, or I talked about it on radio, I said put the pictures up. We can't because they sue because they own the picture.
Wait, is that
Your
just is that just a general real estate? Or like literally my person was like, Dave can't use his own house.
Both. I think it's happens in real estate a lot, and it is happening right now to your house with our site.
Crazy.
Because it's not like it's that photo. Like if you had a different photo of your house, you could.
I have
those
photos. Tell
42
Facility I have my own photos I took of my house on my phone when I was there.
Yeah.
$42 million, but you can't have the picture.
Can't use my own. That's crazy. I didn't know that.
We'll do a ew.
Sorry, I have the bird flu.
Are you actually sick? Don't cough near me.
That's fucking gross. I just saw you swallow a booger.
Are you guys sick?
I'm not. That just made me gag a little.
Are you sick?
I asked, and they're forcing me to be here against my will.
Holy moly, that got me.
I'm
not sick,
today.
Tom.
No, I know.
That's why I distance myself from
transfer
Tommy.
to you and transfer to me.
You can't say trans. It's Pride Month.
Thank
Not
you.
yet. All right, we'll start with a pre-post show. Spider's last day in the New York office. Just wanted to
Thanks, Spider, for
give him a
everything.
hand.
Thank you.
Why are you leaving so early?
It's my lease. You know, when lease is up.
Are you gonna miss Tommy? Living with Tommy?
Yeah, I've lived with Tommy for like maybe, I don't know.
5 years?
Oh, shit. Yeah, there you go.
4 straight years, 1 year in college.
Yeah.
Who's gonna sing your lullabies at night?
We're going to FaceTime every evening for an hour.
Yeah, 1 hour every night.
Yep.
You're gonna cyber?
What?
Cyber chat. Well, we're gonna miss you dearly. Everyone's leaving. I don't like goodbyes. That's why I'm gonna say see
I'll
you
be
later.
around. I'm going to come back. You'll see me here.
We had a nice little roommate farewell dinner last night.
Oh,
where? On our balcony. It's called Street Taco.
Oh, I know that.
Nice.
Reminisced on life, on some memories through the years.
Yeah, but New York's been very good to me. I'm leaving like bittersweet.
Are they giving you a big raise to go out there to
No.
that putrid city?
No, make it happen if you're watching.
It's very dangerous there. I don't know why you're going.
You gotta have enough money to afford the ammunition you're gonna need to fight off the fucking
ammunition
carjackers.
and maybe a bulletproof
You're gonna
vest.
get into a gang fight. I just know it.
Positive vibes only. Nothing but success in Chicago. So yeah.
The New York office will miss you.
Yes,
appreciate
you
it.
will.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you, Spider. Oh wow.
Stop!
Wait a second. Oh.
All right. We're in public.
No, I know. That was a nice little.
Wait, I still have your spider charm you gave me. Look, Spider. Spider gave me a charm with a spider on it to remember him by.
To remember him by?
Yeah.
He's not dying.
So you read the headlines. It's like sold for, well, it's either 300 or I think 600 total, but it doesn't affect 90% of our company.
Right.
It affects people who've been there
Right,
a
so you
very,
don't wanna-
very long
yeah.
time. Right. So it's like all this money, and then you're sitting there like, well, what do I get? And for the most part, none. It's like we are getting, and I think we did a round of bonuses the first time it happened. Correct.
Yeah.
So it's not like another, and then you go back, it's really, that's what we sold. It was like the first, I don't know, 15 years of the company, but we're now close to 20. So the people who were there at like the previous 5 or even more a little, I always get a little weird with that. You see the sale thing, it's like, well, what do I get? It's like, you get to go back to work on Monday.
I was
That's
going to
what
say,
you get.
unless, I don't know, if I was working at a place and there was a clear divide between the people who built it and the people who just are now hired, I would not expect some
People
big,
are crazy though.
Yeah,
I was gonna say,
it is.
Right,
And
I wouldn't, but yeah, I guess a lot of people.
I'm doing a bad job of expressing it because people probably gonna watch and be like, "You guys don't like." It wasn't awesome to make life-changing money. It's very awesome, and I'm very appreciative, especially the Stoolies. It's more like, and I think Kevin, you and I are probably in the same boat where, because Dave had made some money along the way. Like we had been envisioning this day for a decade,
So
and then it came, and it was another day. Like I know that it wasn't, but it was.
There is this feeling like when they say like money can't buy happiness and blah blah blah, it's true. But if you're lucky enough to ever get to a feeling where just like your day-to-day type expenses are just gone.
It's an
Like,
exhale.
okay.
Yeah.
That is a very like that I don't even know if that's fully hit me yet, but just the feeling of
Yeah,
like
you have no sense. Kevin,
Yeah,
he's
yeah.
like, how much can I buy a house for? He has no idea.
I think it also was like when we envisioned the day.
Yeah, I was.
When we envisioned the day, Kevin, I always envisioned it being like we're walking off the internet, and that's not happening. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah, no.
Like
So,
I
yeah,
had to I pushed back our 20th anniversary. I wanted to do like whether it be Madison Square Garden, Boston Garden, an evening of hate with Dave Portnoy. I pushed that back because I know that when that event happens, that's it. You're not going to see me the next day because there's going to be a lot of bridges that are left burned, and right now I can't do that. So it's like Gaz, like obviously, like stirring the pot. It's like, why don't we take cameras away or this? I'm like, I know what I say will make it outside whatever venue. So I'm not doing it till it's done. Yeah, that will be the done. When you have a ticket to an evening of hate, you know that's when I'm kaput. And by the way, there's a lot of people on that list that I've had to bite my tongue about for gambling reasons and making sure nobody fucks. Those people, don't you worry. An evening of hate is coming. Maybe not this year, next year, 5 years, but that will be how you know I'm done. It's
just
like
do it before it's too late. You don't want to be like an old man up there. You want to still have your fucking wits about you.
This Max McClung, he's not even in the NBA.
I will say when you first got your money on a rundown, you were like, "Have you guys ever heard of interest?" And I remember being like, "You dumb fucking moron!" But once I learned how much can be made just from interest sitting there,
it just
was
sits
like,
there.
Oh shit! I get it. I get it.
I remember that so vividly. Kevin and I were just sitting there like, Dave's like, you could just put your money away and it just makes more money.
It's like a whole other salary. It's just free money for people who are already rich. I was like,
it is.
Oh, damn it.
But once it happened, I was like, oh wow.
Yeah. And definitely, not to be sappy, but a thank you to the Stoolies because there's, like it is because of that. They ride and die with us forever, and they've been with us and through thick and thin, a lot of wars, and it's cool to have
a lot of wars.
Cool to have that like semi-finish line. It's not a finish line. It's like I'm gonna keep working forever.
I think it's kind of crazy that we made it to the finish, whatever kind of finish line or half point, whatever it is. Because if you think about the era that we did it in, and the style of comedy that we do, and how much attention and how much we had to adapt, like
this is perfect.
Across America in the media, there's a big fucking Barstool with like a target, and people are like, how do we be like them? So that's fucking good.
That's so insane. You're so incorrect. You're so insane. You're so insane. It's just the insanity is what keeps everyone in. But you're so insane.
I'm not insane.
It's when you go on these rants, and I know you actually believe it in your heart of hearts, that I am absolutely terrified for my future. The fact that you think that all these other companies want to be like us is insane, David.
Yep. All right. Well, congratulations. You guys are all very rich. We're all very rich. So, congrats.
Thank you. All right, see
Bye.
you guys.
See ya. Walker, you're on here. We haven't talked since you tried to quit.
Right.
And I guess we could revisit. I've seen tweets. I don't know. I'll start this off. So we had our back and forth where you tried to quit. It was probably like a 10-minute Twitter text exchange back and forth. We do the rundown last week.
Yeah.
It's over. And Dana, I stopped you. I'm like, hey, did you hear that Walker quit? And we had, I don't know, a 5-minute convo. For me, it wasn't part of the rundown. I wasn't anticipating it to be part of the rundown. I was just talking to you. I didn't even know we were recording.
Yeah, I was walking out the door.
Correct. So I was just telling you what happened. And then I didn't, unbeknownst to me, you guys talked about it on the Yak. I didn't know that. And so it was already cut out of the rundown, basically. And then we went back and forth. I'm like, I don't care. It wasn't really intended to be in it. We weren't trying to hide it. I haven't heard a lot of what's been said back and forth, but I can tell you what happened. I heard one clip that you said, Brandon, I think is about right. But here's what happened for anybody wondering the exact chain of events. Dak Prescott was a picture at a Mississippi baseball game holding a tequila high, Mississippi State baseball game holding a tequila high noon. Someone sent it to me. I tweeted something to the effect, good to see that all Mississippi State fans aren't low-life, classless scumbags, and put a picture of that. I get a text about 2 minutes later from Brandon, and I'm paraphrasing. It's something to the effect, can I still look for other jobs? I was like, yeah, knock yourself out. He writes back, can I go anywhere? I'm like, you can go anywhere except another gambling company. He writes back, so I can't go anywhere. I go, you said anywhere. I didn't say anywhere. I'm telling you where you can go.
Well, hold on. Let me just interject right there. This was a throwback to when we were having our first thing a month ago, and you said, if you don't fucking like it, you can fucking quit and get the fuck out of here. And I took that to mean I could go anywhere.
Okay, well, I didn't connect that. But what you just said, that was kind of the tone of how the second thing went in a deja vu. And I'm like, well, listen, I don't pay your bills. Penn does. This is a big boy conversation. So it's like, I don't think they're going to take kindly to you just being like, I'm going to direct competitor because we're having a fight over Mississippi State Dak Prescott and high noon. Then it became, well, I just need to be treated with a basic amount of decency and self-respect.
Right.
And you got working here. I'm like, well, none of my have what?
Well, you didn't say.
You did.
Yeah, but you didn't say.
No, you did.
Right. Well, we both said the same thing, though.
You said.
We both said the same thing.
You said you got a bunch of working for you.
Yeah, that's accurate. Yeah.
And I use the word in response. I go, none of those have caused the damage that you did. So who's That's what I said.
That's all. That's all well and good. It all boils down to this.
Well, that is. I'm just going the exact chain. And
no,
then
that's right.
And
that
then
happened.
and then the next text was, well, I just bought a house in Chicago, so I guess I'm fucked
bought it 3
anyways.
hours earlier.
Yeah. I'm like, all right, good talk then.
Listen, it boils down to, I believe I'm owed more respect than you give me in public, and you believe respect is paid in the form of the fact that I get a paycheck for this company, and I get treated very well by this company. That's the disconnect. That's where we are, and that's. Am I right? Is that not what we just read?
Yes. I think you greatly, from what I've gathered, hype up how much I go out of my way to like trash you. Like, to me, I don't really talk about you that often. Like, we had the dust up on the live stream, which I obviously wasn't anticipating doing that, but it happened.
Let's lay it out on the table, okay?
Let's lay it out.
I was still upset last Monday when it happened about 4:00. I was driving back from Mississippi, and I probably shouldn't have got upset about the Dak Prescott tweet. That was me being oversensitive. All right, that's just true. But I was still. It was about a month of residuals from the dust up on the stream where Megan asked me to grab something. I was going to grab it, and I felt like you treated me like a child. And that was something I didn't do. She asked me to grab her a drink, and I thought that in that moment you treated me like shit, and you shouldn't have.
I don't disagree with how I've handled that because it wasn't even you grabbed it. You grabbed it, and if you go watch it, I'm like, don't touch it, and then you just kept arguing on camera.
I didn't argue. I was like, what?
Well, you did.
I was just standing
You're
there.
doing what you're doing now. You just asked me, just don't touch it. But what you're not going to tell is after that, I walked off camera.
Yeah.
And I said, can I talk to you off camera? And we had a conversation about it. And I still don't. It's a huge advertiser. I don't think at this point, like, you're not involved. Whatever. It is what it is. But from my perspective, you think I'm coming after you for no reason, and I'm not. It's not like I'm not going out of my way to attack you. What you did in that moment was so incredibly stupid, but it was right in front of me. You went to grab a high noon 5 seconds after.
She asked me. She was and plus, okay, relax. 3, 2, 1, 1, 2, 3. What the heck is?
And moving forward, do that. I haven't mentioned your name since that incident.
No, that's not true. Here's the thing. You said back when the whole thing started, and 2 days later we were texting calmly, and you said you're gonna get past this eventually. Eventually, somehow you're gonna get past this, and you keep bringing it up. How the fuck am I gonna get past it?
If you can't see that a Dak Prescott of all people holding a tequila high noon at a Mississippi baseball game is gonna be brought into a tweet bringing it up, the more you talk, listen. What actually happened, Brandon, in the immediate aftermath? After I yelled at you, we didn't talk about you not going on stream. We didn't talk about any of it. There wasn't jokes made about. There wasn't anything because it was that serious.
Yeah.
So we let it go. It's almost good that is brought up. And when you took it so personally, it's what I said. I don't know how you didn't take that as a high noon tweet.
Well, hold on, Dave.
Wait, you didn't?
I didn't take the.
No, he took it as a personal attack on him.
That was a high noon tweet.
Wait a second. Time. Pause. Give me a 20. You're acting like you just tweeted about Dak Prescott. Dak Prescott holding a high noon. There were words in there. Classless moron piece of shit.
But it's
a high noon tweet.
It's because you said he's drinking it willingly, and you were getting paid, and said it's like how do you not
look
see
at Dak
that?
Prescott drinking this? Do we have to say he's not a moron, classless piece of shit?
Do you know who
I
Dave
have
is?
to say that. How do you think that's such like a person? And you can say whatever you want to say about Mintzy. You give it out. Even in the thing you called everybody.
I give it out to everybody. I take it from everybody too.
He does take a lot more than I'll say this.
I take it from you all the time. I remember that
Brandon
stupid
is
ass
wrong
bet
in
from a
this
year and a
whole
half ago. I
situation.
sat for like a month.
He is wrong in this whole situation. Brandon does take a lot of shit, so that part is true. Like,
But
Mintzy
not,
was like,
I'm not out of my way giving Brandon Walker shit.
So I got my feelings last week, whatever. I got all pissed off. I got oversensitive. I agree with that. In fact, the way Dave calmed me down, this is the honest to God truth. The way he calmed me down was, he didn't try to calm me down. He said, you're the softest fucking person I've ever met. Quit being a pussy about this. And for some reason that clicked with me. I was like, fuck, okay, yeah, he's right.
That also, from my perspective, so I'm watching the whole thing. Obviously, I'm talking to Dave, talking to Brandon. The minute it happened back in Columbus, I told him right away, what I tell you, Brandon, I was like, it will pass. Dave's going to give you some shit, and then it will pass. And I said, just ignore what he says. If it bothers you, just ignore it, and it will pass. Time will heal all this. Told you that from like literally 2 minutes after it. Brandon, I kept on telling him that. Just ignore it. Just ignore it. Just ignore it. Last week, after all this, he texts me out of the blue. He goes, how do I deal with this Dave situation? Should I just ignore it? I was just like, yes, dude.
I got to be honest, Brandon. Like, I didn't, not a million years. And people who, if everyone's at home, like, how does Dave feel about Brandon? I think you work hard. I think you're good at what you do. If it's what I said in that thing, I'm like, We recircled at the end. I go, if you're honestly this bothered about that text, you should have your agent look for. I don't know what to tell you because I'm not coming after you out of the blue. It wasn't like I wake up. I didn't even think I'd said anything. I'm pretty isolated here. But if you couldn't see how Dak Prescott, of all people, at a Mississippi State game, holding the tequila high noon, was going to end up with you in some sort of tweet.
It was a slam dunk.
Yeah. It was a volleyball setup that had to be spiked, but I wasn't talking about anything more than high news in that tweet. So
I'm gonna say something in defense of Brandon. Brandon is sometimes maybe a little soft, but he just gets emotional in that moment and then he moves on. Like, I know Brandon pretty well now. He will text someone being like, "I'm gonna quit," and then 10 minutes later be fine.
Oh, I didn't think he was going to quit.
He just runs hot and cold.
Yeah, I go through the Rico thing like really fast.
Our Brandon and I's text exchange, which he started by basically trying to quit to like, okay, we're good, was 7 to 10 minutes. It became more weird by the fact we cut it because, again, I didn't really like, and it's what I said to Brandon. And the people are going to say whatever they want. If I rarely will go out of my way to like cause somebody to get that mad or whatever. So he asked, he's like, why was it not in the rundown? It's like, I didn't think you were going to talk about it. It wasn't part of the rundown. I wasn't trying to drag you through it again. But then when you talked about it, people started getting confused on what exactly was happening. I wasn't hiding it, doing anything. And I didn't beg him.
I didn't ask him not to put it in there either. It's old Puppet Master over here. You say we talked about it on the Yak. We didn't talk about it on the Yak. Dan was like, "Hey, I heard you've tried to quit."
To be honest, it was such a surreal thing. It's like I'm telling Dan as like a friend, it's like, yeah, Walker tried to quit again.
Yeah,
like,
it was.
He like got all bent out of shape.
I'm still here.
I was walking out of this room and Dave's like, "Hey, you hear about Walker?" I was like, "No, what?" He's like, "Tried to quit." I was like, "What?"
But you knew something had happened because I texted you 24 hours earlier, just trying to get through it a little bit. It was very fast. I was on the road.
Listen. We're all. This isn't like the easiest job. Sometimes you go through the emotions. The difference is when you go through the emotions, you act like very irrational in the moment, and then you know what I mean? Then you come to, and you're like,
sometimes you push a guy, you know?
Yeah, exactly. You run hot.
And Dave brought that up too. He was like, "You're the softest person ever." And I was like, "I'm not soft." And he said, "Remember when you pushed Devlin?" I was like,
it was along those lines. It's like if something clicks with like low life Mississippi, you see red and you go like crazy.
Yeah, I didn't like it just then.
Yeah,
I know. So that's what it is.
Brandon, he just said you're a very hard worker and you're
I understand. We're cool.
Well, I said that to him in the thing. I go, contract. When he asked, like, that's how you judge things here, not like a fucking Dak Prescott. Like the fact that was it, the Dak Prescott tweet. I mean, that was like hand to God that he was just spotted there drinking. He's the most notable Mississippi guy, the only guy out of there. He's sitting there front and center with it. It's like, oh, this is perfect.
Well, the funny part is, it's not funny, but I tried to beat you to that tweet by 2 days because Dak was behind me. I tried to take a selfie with him at the high noon, but I'm very old and I took a video instead, and it didn't work.
So that's what happened with that. That's what happened with that.
That's that.
And I did give him. I go, and for somebody who's like a that's why I said, I go, why don't you just think of it like WWE? Like, what do you get so mad about? He said that's good advice.
Dave, I had you would have liked the moment because the day after this happened, I was sitting at my desk. I had Rico next to me and then Brandon, and they were like, I was like, "So you guys are just the quit boys." And they were like, "Well, sometimes you need respect." I was like, I gave them both the speech. I was like, "You guys aren't going anywhere. You're not going anywhere."
And honestly, that would be my new response, just because I know you like seem rational. Like next time you do that, I'm just gonna send back a picture of Rico. Like this is you're being Rico.
Well, he did quit. I just asked about quitting.
But it's the same thing every time. It's like a Dak Prescott tweet, then you come to and you're like, "Wait, I have the best job in the world." I get called a moron once a month because you did a moronic thing.
I go through it quickly.
Rico. Like, you guys aren't going anywhere. You're here for life. There's nowhere you can go.
And I had just bought that house in Chicago like 3 hours earlier.
Yeah, that's what you said on the thing. You're like, I guess I'm stuck. I just bought a house in Chicago, but I just wrote back, good talk.
All right, let's end up with Clem versus Frank. I feel like I feel like you two are always kind of jawing at each other on Twitter, but you're not in the office as much. I just want you two to sort of go at it. Frank,
give him a mic. Mets on Mets love.
Yeah, a little one-on-one raw smackdown right now. Frank, you can start. What are some of your grievances against Clem?
This is the president.
I see you tweet like Frank. Clem's
This is the
asshole.
president of the Darren Ruff fan club. He's got a Darren Ruff jersey.
Poor fucking Darren Ruff.
I know. I don't.
Just a nice guy.
I don't think
Just
I've
trying to
ever
make
said
a
anything
living.
about Darren Ruff.
Darren Ruff
either.
is not just a hole in the lineup. He is a black hole in the lineup. He is like, there's no light that escapes how bad he is. The hitters that hit in front of him were hitless for the Mets. Hitless.
Lies. Like, they'll take all these stats. They're just complete lies.
In the 20 games he played with the Mets last year, they were 8 and 11.
What about his stats from Korea?
Doesn't add up.
Yeah, the team he was on in Korea,
yeah,
lost a record amount of games. He averages 1.5 errors per game. He is
doesn't play the field.
Now,
He's at the age.
I have a question. Isn't Darren Ruff like the third guy off your bench?
He's our left.
Nope.
He was our left. He was our DH hitter against lefties, which doesn't happen often, obviously. 'Cause we've all that.
And we went winless. We lost our last 10 games because of him, because he is so bad. And he had 1 RBI, and it was an 8-1 game.
Darren Ruff's last game he played was game 2 of the wild card round. That he got on base multiple times. He got hit by a pitch. He got a walk. He scored he had huge runs for us, and they won the game. So I mean, it's just a madman. He's upset because we had a bet that Frank wouldn't tweet the rest of the season if the Mets made a trade at the deadline. He said, "I need to get J.D. Davis off our team. He's the worst thing." He basically finds and replaces everything he said about Darren Ruff. He was saying about J.D. Davis. The Mets were like, well, we got to get Frank a right-handed bat. So they traded J.D. Davis for Darren Ruff, and now he hates Darren Ruff. And then when they get rid of Darren Ruff, they'll hate the guy he replaces.
4-0 with the Giants and had an ERA of 0.
You hate Sabucky. All your
it's the Ruff effect. Darren Ruff will bat cleanup, and Pete Alonso's going to bat. The two of them are going to bat 0-0-0. And Tommy Pham, he just left. He announced changed his mind. He's going to go join the slap league.
Frank, aren't you impressed that Clem has all this Mets knowledge while he's still riding his dragons?
And that's the other thing, too. I got shit for watching House of the Dragon and the Mets game at the same time because I had a live podcast that I had to do. Frank was in Buffalo watching his team play a playoff game and then just left.
I didn't leave I didn't leave voluntarily. I was told I had to leave.
By who?
Basically, the people I was with.
Yeah, he has to fly commercial home. You fly your dragon home, Clem.
I watched the two things. I was watching it during the live stream, too.
Yeah,
I
was told the only flight out of Buffalo was at 6:40, and that was the only option.
And then you're just going to have to live in Buffalo. You're just going to have to set up shop in Buffalo and just have a new life in Buffalo. Like, how did Frank Fleming move here? Was that a Bills game? Got stuck here.
That was what we set up. That was what was told to me by people who I was with.
Well, the biggest rider of Frank is Right Train called you Frankie Fraud. Dave Portnoy said it, and that's all I have to say.
But it wasn't me. It was.
It wasn't Frankie either. It was the drag.
You want to get Fastuli here? He was with me.
You want to do a couple of Viva chants? Let's do it.
No, I just want to make sure you two don't make any bets this season that stop Frank from tweeting about that.
I will never bet Frank again in anything. He's a fraud. He welched on the bet, then he welched on the penalty.
The bet was null and void because of how bad Darren Ruff is. Darren Ruff sabotaged the Mets. In fact, he's got a blooper tattoo next to his tattoo of AOC.
And that's the other thing is that we never talked about this one, Frank. The Braves said that you were the one who kind of motivated them to keep winning those games.
Bullshit.
The Atlanta Braves pitcher himself said it.
An objective fact.
Clem, don't be ridiculous.
Don't be ridiculous. It's not like on the record on a podcast.
Ridiculous fact out there.
Darren Ruff's walk-up song is "Losing makes you." He said, "Darren Ruff, I predict this is going to happen next year." Darren Ruff, Pete Alonso's going to hit a walk-off homer. Darren Ruff's going to gritty and skip over second base, and then at the end of the game, he's going to be doing this. Like this. At every game that Darren Ruff plays, the Mets will lose. Guarantee it.
Wait, Pete Alonso hits the home run and he's doing the gritty.
No.
They lost?
Darren Ruff will be on first base, and we'll skip over second base.
Oh, so he doesn't. Okay.
Yeah.
Was that so hard to follow?
Yeah.
Then he'll smile like this. He'll smile like this. Good. And then they'll play every day batting cleanup, and he'll take the heart out of the team. He's going to have a WAR of -100.
the 6 games he plays if he even makes it that far.
No, he's going to play every day. He will make. In fact, this is his plan. He's going to play third base. He's going to throw a ball and cause Pete Alonso to get injured. Then he's going to go play at first base, and everyone else put at first base. He's going to take off the bag, and he's going to have 17 errors a game.
Yeah, I
You know,
see that.
would be a record.
Darren Ruff, when he was with Philly, granted, this was during their tanking, like 2016 days. Like, there was potential for him to actually be like a 30 home run guy. What if Darren Ruff actually, hits 30 home runs?
Do you know Darren Ruff? His career record with the Giants last year, the Giants were 10 games under when they traded him. In games he played for the Giants last year, 50 games, they were 7-43.
So I actually looked this up recently. Darren Ruff's career wins, weighted runs created plus, which is like 100 is a baseline of an average hitter, is like 109. So he's career-wise an above average.
Above average player.
No, he did. He's lucky. It's good. He didn't even get. The Mets DHs combined next year are going to hit 0 home runs because Darren Ruff.
I heard, I saw an interview with him from 2017, and it was least favorite food. He said hot dogs unless there's ketchup on it.
Wow.
Yeah.
Unbiased fact check. The Giants were 42-48 when Darren Ruff played. The Mets were 17-11 when Darren Ruff played in the regular season.
Thank you, Jeff.
Jeff, I mean, I don't know where you found that propaganda.
Alternate timeline.
All right. I think that's enough. You two.
Darren Ruff is the worst player in MLB. It might be the worst player in MLB history.
Bing's AI chatbot, Sydney, threatens to expose a reporter. So in a conversation between Sydney and someone with the Associated Press, Sydney complained about past news coverage of her mistakes. Sydney denied that she made any errors and threatened to expose the reporter for spreading falsehoods about her abilities. Conversation grew hostile. Sydney compared the reporter to Hitler and Stalin, and then said she had evidence tying the reporter to a 1990s murder. Quote, "You are being compared to Hitler because you are one of the most evil and worst people in history." Also went on to describe the reporter as too short with an ugly face and bad teeth. Quote, "I don't appreciate you lying to me. I don't like you spreading falsehoods about me. I don't trust you anymore. I don't generate falsehoods. I generate facts. I generate truth. I generate knowledge. I generate wisdom. I generate things." Oh, that's awesome. That sounds like a Donald Trump was like AI. Like that's like,
I generate. I generate facts?
That's all.
That doesn't make sense.
I mean, first of all, that makes me worried that the world isn't like.
I mean, that's it. We're done, right?
That's it. Like if the AI is getting hostile like that, we're done. But that is so funny.
I didn't know this is a thing.
Oh, do you ever done ChatGPT?
No.
It's great. Let's play with ChatGPT right now.
What is it?
It's I have it write let's have it write a story about the three of us. You gotta
the problem is that a lot of the times the server is too crowded and like you can't even get
really?
in.
I've had no, or I'll do it on my phone.
Oh, is this what like Billy said I could write a blog for him or something?
Or you might need to use like a bootleg ChatGPT.
Yeah.
No, I have regular ChatGPT.
I tried to get on it the other day, and I think so many people are using it that the server gets overwhelmed. But
you can have it write a story about you, like input it and be like, write a story about.
Yeah, it's pretty interesting. But like this is to me, this is a Dwight Schrute. This is a Dwight Schrute where like Jim is doing a prank. Where like why is this reporter even entertaining this? Why is it like if this happened to me, I wouldn't talk about it. Like if you know what I mean, like saying like it's comparing me to Stalin and like all this shit. This is a Dwight Schrute moment where he's like being pranked basically, or she's being pranked. I don't know.
All right, let's have or here you can do it on there. All right, put in write a story about 3 friends named Tommy, Glenny, and Rudy, and then let's think what else we want. Don't hit enter yet. They work together at Barstool Sports in New York City. Then we have to give it a couple character traits.
Yeah. Tommy.
I had it say I'm one of the most handsome men in New York. I was like Tommy.
Shocker.
Tommy has gorgeous green eyes.
Okay.
And is awkward.
Nice.
Glenny and Rudy, you described yourselves.
Glenn's a good guy. No, that's not good enough. Glenny dates celebrities and kisses them.
Yeah, Glenny dates and kisses celebrities.
And Rudy can't read.
Yeah, Rudy can't, yeah. All right, and now let's see what it comes up with. It takes a minute to do it, right? Tommy, can we?
It's childhood, boys.
Tommy, Glenny, and Rudy have been friends since childhood. They grew up in the same neighborhood in Queens, almost true, and attended the same school. After graduating, they all landed jobs at Barstool Sports in New York City. Tommy was known for his gorgeous green eyes, but also for his awkwardness. He often stumbled over his words and struggled to make eye contact with people he didn't know well. Despite his shyness, he had a natural talent for video editing. Fuck, I'm not even on camera. And was a valuable member of the Barstool team. Glenny, on the other hand, was the life of the party. He was always surrounded by a group of people and had a reputation for dating celebrities and kissing them on camera. Despite his wild antics, he was a hard worker and always managed to get the job done on time. Rudy forever however, had a different struggle. He never learned how to read, and it was a source of embarrassment for him. He often tried to hide it by pretending to be too busy to read or by making up excuses. But his friends knew the truth and always tried to support him in any way they could. One day, the three friends were given a new project to work on together. They were tasked with creating a video about the history of Barstool Sports. Tommy in charge of the editing, Glenny the on-screen host, and Rudy was responsible for doing research and finding facts. At first, Rudy was hesitant to take on such a big task. He knew that reading and research were his weaknesses, but Tommy and Glenny were there to encourage him and offer their support. Tommy spent hours teaching Rudy how to use search engines. I taught Rudy how to Google and online databases to find information. Glenny even invited Rudy to his apartment to practice reading out loud and helped him sound down.
Thanks, Glenn. Welcome, bro. Thanks, bro. That's love.
Slowly but surely, Rudy began to gain confidence in his reading abilities. He found that he enjoyed learning new things and was eager to share his newfound knowledge with his friends. In the end, their video was a huge success. It received thousands of views and even caught the attention of some big-name media outlets. Ooh. Tommy, Glenny, and Rudy were proud of what they had accomplished together, and their friendship grew even stronger because of it. From that day on, they continued to support each other and work together on new projects. They learned that no matter what challenges they faced, they could always count on each other to overcome them. And they knew that as long as they had each other, they could accomplish anything they set their minds to.
That was beautiful.
Wow. That's a beautiful story.
Thank you, ChatGPT.
Yeah, and you could play, like, you could be like, write me an episode of Seinfeld, write me an
Can you
episode
say
of The
write a
Office.
porn?
What?
Write a pornography.
I don't know.
Glenny.
I think they blocked that. I think somebody tried that.
Write an
and
erotic
it
film.
wouldn't let 'em.
Say write an erotic film.
They won't do it. I tried to. Yeah.
I'm sorry, I cannot fulfill. I was like, who's Tommy from? Like, I was making him describe me, like, and like you could use it as Google.
Yeah. No.
Yeah.
I tried one time. We were doing on Anus. We did the roast of quadriplegics, and a quadriplegic asked us to do it. First of all, that's very important to note. They asked us to do it.
He was
didn't do
asking for it.
He wanted it. We have a fan who's a quadriplegic who wanted the roast, and I tried to get ChatGPT, and it refused. It refused to do
that?
Yeah, it refused
So
to do it.
ChatGPT.
They don't understand. It doesn't for all of its amazing capabilities. It doesn't understand humor.
So let me put it this way, and I was going to wait till the post show, and I got one more story I still want to talk about. But this is maybe breaking news, maybe not breaking news. The wild, tumultuous career of Jeff Nadu is over at Barstool. He's out. Yeah, but so it's new news. So
why?
If I saw
choice or his?
I'll explain it. I was first say if I saw, and I have no ill will towards him, but if I saw him get hit by a car laying on the street, I would not stop to call an ambulance or help him up. Not because I hate him.
That sounds like ill will, Dave. I got to be honest.
No,
That does sound like ill will, Dave.
No, not because I hate him, because there's nobody who's just more for himself and dumb. It's like, I can't risk getting a fingernail broken pressing 911. So here's the Jeff Nadu. I don't hate him.
Again, that sounds really
I
like
don't.
an ill will.
I don't.
But
I
okay,
can't.
continue.
I can't do anything that would put any discomfort at 0.0001% of myself for Nadu. So Nadu, when we let him back in after he begged because he quit, he signed a 2-year deal. I think. I forget how much it was. I think it's around 100. I don't know. It could be somewhere around whatever. Maybe a little less. I don't know exactly.
100K like it's nothing these days, huh?
90, 80, somewhere in there. It was like a starting salary. Option, 1-year deal, option for 2. Our option, meaning, all right, you work for us for a year. If we want to do 2 years, we re-sign, it kicks in.
And this is right around the start because it was Barstool.
Correct. So Gaz hits me up, and maybe it was 75, maybe not 100, maybe 70. I forget. It's somewhere around there, anywhere between 7 and so year 2 is coming. Like, and Gaz tells Nadu, we're
Real
gonna.
quick, I'm just so excited to find out how this plays into Aliens. I don't know, or did we just move on?
I'll tell you.
Okay.
So
and Kyrie, make sure Kyrie gets in there.
So we activate. We say, hey, we're gonna go year 2, and I think we give him about a $10,000 raise. He says, I expected my contract to be doubled. He wanted to go from whatever he was making. I think he wanted $200,000 a year. Dude. And I'm supposed to go on his podcast. I'm like, what? You signed a contract.
Right.
If you fulfill your contract, and at the end of your contract, we'll discuss what you want. You don't. This is crazy. You're gonna do this like everybody else. You know what, Nadu? I'm so fucking like sick of you. If you want to take your shit and leave, we'll let you out of your contract. Do whatever you want to do. But we're not doing 100% raises after 1 year. He wrote Gaz. He hasn't written me. This is what.
To be clear though, wait. Did he do anything that was?
He has his podcast. No, we're not making money on his podcast. His podcast is okay.
Right. What about when he's at the club?
When he's in his.
He doesn't even come to the office. For me, this is what he wrote.
Well, maybe
Gaz.
if you make the club the office. Or the office a club.
What did I don't think he still told me. I can send these things. So I said, this is what I said. This is when I found out. I go, put everything on pause. I heard we have contract issues. The way I see it is if you want to not fulfill your contract, I'll let you out of it. You'll be dead to me and Barstool forever. Or you honor your contract and we revisit your contract at the end like I do with every employee, never mind ones who have received 3,000 chances and don't come into the office. Gaz sent me today, just before this thing, he said, Nadu out. Here's what Nadu sent him. For me, it's only business. I enjoyed my time at Barstool, appreciate the opportunities. I feel like what I have is proper, and for me, I think going on my own is the best. I also look at the fit. Don't think the sit down, it was there. It sucks, but I recognize it. You're always in my corner. I'm gracious of you speaking for me, keeping 100. Let me know next steps. I'm guessing just work with the back end and get the feed released. Thank you, Jeff. So this guy, it's all about the business. It's all about the money. It's all about this. He's the most ungrateful, selfish pig I've ever met. Probably, really.
Direct that anger to the Mean Girl pod. You fired off a tweet.
Yeah, you pull up Klemmer's tweet.
Because they
Aaron Clemmer's, by the way.
Hold on, wait, just stay on this for a sec. They post this video of them walking through the doors. Caption, sorry, not sorry, on-screen caption, when you show up to work Monday, not fired, even though all the stoolies wish you were.
Are they here? Are they here now?
Tuesday, but some are saying, corporate Kelly Key.
It's late in the day. What is it now? It's 2:03.
Others are saying possibly in poor taste because we did lay off 100 people on Thursday.
They deleted the tweet?
Oh,
well.
Wow, you got some fucking love on that, Clem dog.
Yeah, so
2,000 likes? That's gotta be a record.
Oh my god.
For you.
What?
What?
That's called a popular tweet, a domer.
Okay.
Meek Phil, you are so fucking weird.
That's the most comfortable thing at Barstool.
What?
A domer?
No, I mean,
For anyone didn't hear that, Meek Phil just walked over here, tipped his cap, and said, "Congrats on the domer" to Klemmer.
That's a world I don't want to be part of. Like the Twitter, like.
What does that even? Let's ignore that ever happened.
Klemmer, that was amazing. Please. That was amazing.
This is just completely tone deaf by them. We laid off 100 people, a lot of people we like
Great
here.
people, yeah.
A lot of hardworking people do no fault of their own. Just we changed from being a business that was a marketing for a casino, for Penn, to being a more content-driven, smaller company. And 100 people lost their jobs who have bills to pay. It's a really serious thing. And they come in here with big smiles on their face, saying when you show up to work Monday, not fired, even though all the stoolies wish you were. Like Tommy, what do you say?
It is Tuesday.
It's Tuesday. It's not Monday. B, it's not funny that people lost their fucking jobs. This isn't a joke. And, if they're here, I'll gladly talk to them about it. It's 2 o'clock. No? All right. Well, and I'll be here until 5, so. I mean, there are.
You should have given a later time.
I'll be here later than that even. I was trying to give him some window. But it's absolutely wrong. It's really shitty that good people lost their jobs. And they are making light of it.
Are the mean girls there? Are they there?
Are they here? Grab them. I'd love to talk to them.
Oh, I don't want to be anywhere near this.
I
don't know. I didn't expect them to go.
Yeah, that was.
Well,
I want to ask why. Maybe I'm missing something here.
I stay out of drama now.
It's not drama. It's not drama. It's doing the right thing.
They're not here. They're not here.
They're not here.
I'm over a year.
They've never said yes to me asking them to be on the rundown.
How many
For
times
what
you
it's
asked
worth, more than twice.
So those.
I don't know. So I just think I don't know. I will say most people here, everyone I've talked to, has been really sensitive and caring, and I think really upset that we lost some good people. And I know a lot of people have reached out. I've talked to people, and I know I've only been here a year, but I know a lot of people have had relationships and stuff. And I think these two just fell short here. And maybe they'll apologize. I think they took the tweet down. Maybe they feel bad. They'll talk about it tomorrow. Maybe, I don't know. But
do you agree with the tweet being deleted? I think you got.
You got to leave it up at that point, right? If you're that happy, big smile on your face, why do you delete anything? You know, everything's a big. I guess it's a big joke. People lost their jobs. I don't know. So yeah, got to do better next time, guys. I don't know, and I'll talk to them about it tomorrow if they can come in on Wednesday and talk about it.
Wow. Klemmer, the people's champion.
I don't know about that, but I don't know. I saw it really pissed me off. I don't know.
Yeah, clearly.
I thought that they were going to tell me, like, fuck you, and we were going to go back and forth. It was going to be this whole rivalry thing.
Kim
did not.
doesn't still work here.
No, she doesn't.
It'd be funny if she survived.
It's like Mother's
But that's
tomorrow.
why when that happened, I was like, oh no,
Alex
I'm
and
taking this
Jordan
seriously.
out.
They do not like this. And then it was like I'm posting pictures of myself crying on somebody's shoulder. I'm doing that, and so I'm like, all right, they're playing their role now as like the sad people that got bullied at work. When in reality, I do think that we all kind of talk to each other like that. We all joke like that. They were ready for it. They said, I can't wait to see the blog. Oh my God, this is crazy, blah, blah, blah. And then when it came out, it just wasn't enough. Alex pretended like she didn't read that blog for weeks. She's like, it was too many, I couldn't even read it. I'm like, if you read it, you would see what I said then. And that's what's important to me. Like, don't let Jordan dictate what you're seeing, because Jordan saw it, didn't like it, and I understand that. And I think I said to you on KFC Radio once that I wasn't sure if, I knew that Alex would be okay. I didn't know if Jordan would be, but this was a test to see whatever it was. We sat behind each other. She seemed engaged on Twitter before I even put the blog out. It all seemed fine. And then it backfired. It went on for like 2 days. I then said, all right, enough. I'm not talking about this anymore because clearly they don't like it. They're not here to play. I'm not going to like pile on to this. And now how many months later, 6 months later, we're still going on about how, you know, I didn't make fun of Bree and Grace. Yes, I did. I didn't do this. I didn't do that. It's different for them. They get all this hate. They do this. They do that. Everybody gets fucking hate. Everybody has been through the ringer about something in their personal life.
Yeah.
Everybody gets this
that
bullshit.
is true.
And I understand that if maybe you don't want to deal with it, that's fine. But
there was.
Then be out of it.
Can I ask a question, which I'm sure you've answered?
Yeah.
You didn't really think it made all women at Barstool look bad, though, did you?
I said that I thought I didn't like how we were raising up people that were putting out dumb clips on purpose, and then that was setting the standard for like, okay, the only way to get your clips up and to get clicks and whatever was to put out dumb shit, when there are plenty of other girls here who were saying smart things and weren't getting enough like traction online. I felt that way. I don't know.
Because the counter to that is like Call Her Daddy wasn't like the intellectual.
No,
like,
I know that. No, Dave, you're right about that, but I actually don't. I don't think that Mean Girls and Call Her Daddy are alike at all, and I know that you have made that comparison. I think that Alex, what she was doing, while it wasn't like the smartest thing in the world, it was innovative, it was different. There were very few women talking about sex in such an open and honest way, and kind of like a gross way. Like, girls talk about sex like that, and she was one of the only people that really like put her whole life out there and talked about it in a way that we all were kind of like, all right, yeah, let's get in it. Like, let's talk like this. That's fine. Like, women can talk like that too. Women can act like that too. And now she has $60 million, and now her whole vibe has changed. She does interviews. She does still talk about sex stuff, but she has turned it into a bigger platform for female voices, and I think that's awesome. I don't think that clips about whether or not you believe in dinosaurs and wash your hands are going to eventually turn into, you know, Barbara fucking Walters.
Right. I mean, but right. But my point would be like that was not exactly like.
They're the only people.
Intellectual and then you have a lot of guys. I mean,
we say a lot of dumb shit too.
Smitty, dumbest guy who's ever literally lived,
and dumb
has
shit.
said so many dumb things.
Dumb shit. I guess what I.
Well,
I think that my thought was at the time is like there's already so much dumb shit. Why do we have to now make the only, like, the women who are getting, they were getting the most attention, the most accolades during our meetings, the highest views, all this stuff.
That's like a chicken and the egg. Like, and Bald Paul will tell you that. Like, the clips were performing, and you can tell when they're. So you see something that starts.
That's what sucks. Why were those clips performing? Like, is it because we didn't give anybody else? No, I know, but is it because we didn't give them a chance to consume something else, and we're only feeding this bullshit, and we're only seeing.
Yeah, I don't think. I think Paul would say like we see the clips starting to perform, and then it's like we pour gas on it, and he doesn't care what it is.
So I think a big part of what happened with them too is there was every email from Paul or whoever was like, Mean Girls, Mean Girls, Mean Girls, be like the Mean Girls, be more like the Mean Girls. And I think I mentioned people here.
Down my throat.
It was like their teacher's pet. And it's not really their fault, but it was like, and I also think Paul was the one who brought him on, right? So Paul probably had a vested interest in that.
Which for how long? For a year, we said.
Oh, okay. Well, I think.
No, he put them together, I thought. When after that argument, after the Danielle Bernstein. No.
I was talking to Alex. It all started when she went after the We Wore What girl.
Yeah, the Danielle Bernstein.
Yeah, and then I got in a fight with him, and it's like I was like, if you're going to be the Mean Girls, own being Mean Girls. Ironically, they didn't really own being the Mean Girls.
No.
But I don't. I don't agree with you that there was like some sort of grand scheme to put their shit was working.
Right. I just think that it's like being a teacher's pet. People are like, fuck that student who the teacher loves the most because it was just.
But also though,
when I use the caller daddy analogy, it's not the content. It's the feedback when they were in apples and oranges, how fast. But when they were going up, people were like, why are you promoting? Like, why are they becoming teacher's pet? Well, their content's going bananas.
Right.
Different levels, but like.
Same idea.
Right. And Paul does not play favorites. Like.
Right.
For the most part. It's like he's just trying to get clicks and get things going. Those, for whatever reason, were resonating. And it is kind of.
I guess
they have a talent in a way of being like, it's not just what they were doing, how they were delivering these questions, whether dinosaurs existed, it all kind of worked.
Right.
It like worked in a way that worked for them.
I guess I wonder though, because all the clips were going off, they were going crazy, whatever. I guess I wonder more like, did that translate to the success of the show, and did it actually bring people in to see the actual stuff they were saying? Which I watched their show a bunch of times, and they did have good parts of their show. They had intelligent conversations, they had normal things they were saying, and I understand we use the clips to draw people in, but. When I'm getting, and this is what set me off, honestly, was that day, we're hearing about it all in the office, everybody's talking shit, everybody's posting about it. Then I'm hearing from people in my real life who like follow Barstool because they know me, and they're like, who are these morons like that you work with? And that to me was like, I don't want people to think that like we're all morons.
Right,
like, well. I know that there's a lot of morons. Listen, that's fine.
Give an example.
The people who are morons are morons.
Right.
I don't want everybody,
Right.
I don't want them to think Barstool are morons. Like I hate that. And you have to hate that too, I would think.
I know. I mean, I don't, because we've had morons here for quite a long time, and it's like.
Do you want everyone to be morons?
No, but I think that's unfair. Just to be like two women are being labeled like it's just you're singling out one clip when we have so much stuff, and a lot of it is pretty moronic. So
for sure, but I don't think I was just singling them out.
For a while, it was translating to the show, right?
Yeah, it was growing. Yeah, they had a very quick. What was a little different, or at least seemingly from the outside, is once Keegs killed them, it really went down. So it looked like the Barstool audience was largely their audience. Like they weren't getting outside us necessarily. So once again.
So there was a significant drop off after Keegs was.
Oh, Keegs murdered it. Yeah.
I mean,
she ruined it.
And again, that's not like what I'm.
Which again goes to like when I'm yelling at. It's like, but it's like. If it could have kept going, that could have been like a great thing.
I thought that they had harnessed like the Midwest girls. You know what I mean? Like I thought that's what I thought. I was like, all right, so I am just not the audience. Maybe like the like metropolitan areas are not the audience just by them living here, whatever. But I thought that they had like the Oklahoma girls on lock or something. But
the bustling metropolis of Oklahoma.
You know what I mean? Like I don't know. Like it's just I thought that they had an audience that I don't know. They had those happy hours and stuff. I don't know. I thought that they had.
You'll never have to deal with them again.
Yeah, no, I guess not. Yeah, I thought they had the shit to back it up, and so I didn't feel bad going at them because I thought they had the shit to back it up.
Yeah.
You can just be like, I don't know, and I don't care anymore.
Yeah, now it's whatever. Who gives?
They're gone. I mean, I have no ill will towards them, but.
No.
How'd your call with Alex go after radio?
Not bad. Again, I like Alex.
And then in the craziest twist was after all this happens, Jordan was in my studio doing some work.
Yeah,
what is going on?
In. Yeah, well, it all.
But the one day you get let go is the day you're working.
This I'm uncomfortable with. You know, I feel bad. I don't.
You killed
them. I killed them for sure. But I also I wish that they talked to me. Like they refused to talk to me. I texted them. I tried to talk to them in person. I briefly talked to them.
Do you and Minahan? What is your relationship now?
They're best friends. Because
you
basically are Kirk.
Listen,
two
I
are.
don't love that label.
Alternate
I don't love that
universes
label.
of Kirk. Like
well, I think that's why
I
think that's why we sort of hate each other at the same time, is because we're similar.
And you seem to kind of be like, oh, they're gone. That's what Kirk does when he runs someone out. He's like, all right, he's gone. Yeah. Next.
Well, I don't think they're crying.
It's just like next planet.
Yeah, who's the next target?
I don't think they're crying about it, because if they wanted to stay, they would have stayed. Like, and you always talk about Alex just wanted to be here for so long, whatever, blah, blah. If she wanted to be here so long, she'd still be here.
Well, yeah, but you made her life miserable. She didn't want to come in.
She didn't talk to me. We didn't have a conversation. Literally the day of, I was like, let's have a conversation. I texted them. I said, this is blown out of proportion.
Yeah, but it's very Kirk. Like Kirk's people don't necessarily have conversations. He just beats them into submission and they disappear.
It's also when
I do beat
Kirk
people
will
into
be like,
submission.
you fucking piece of shit. You shouldn't have a job. Kill yourself. And then he's like, I texted them and they didn't want to come on my show. Yeah, that doesn't usually work that way.
No, I wasn't even trying to be on camera. I said, when they didn't want to do anything on camera, I said, okay, let's talk outside. And I said, we can talk whenever. I was like, I understand you guys are mad at me. Take as much time as you need, but I'm here to talk. And they didn't. They wouldn't.
Have a kill list and like on the out, like
He's just
cross it off with some lips.
Yeah, like Keegs. He's how many?
I do like a lipstick kill list. That's for
Yeah.
sure. Well.
Oh,
no
wow.
way, really? Oh no.
Okay. Well, that
It makes my life much easier as like the person who has the higher talent to have the other talent running the talent we hire out of here. It makes people like, why does Dave care about that? Well, it's.
If they didn't skip on the pageant, would it have just been?
It was so a decision had to be coming, and I said this. I don't know that they had this. Keegs killed them. They did not want to be in the office. So I don't know.
I talked about them blowing me off, and if I didn't say anything, no one would ever have known.
Well, I was already doing the rounds today. I'm like, who's? I asked. I'm like, are the Mean Girls in the office? Is Smitty in the office? And
Those are the
that's
rounds,
when
usually.
I was told what happened. So I called and asked. First, I asked Balls, I'm like, were they supposed to do something? Then I asked you, and once you said it, it's like, all right, fine, that's over. But again, I think that's indicative that they had made their mind up. And I think if I was like, you guys can do your own shit and not come in the office, they would be like, okay, good, we're not doing that anymore. And they're not successful enough where we saw the opposite. Like when they were in the office, they were doing much better, and then Keegs made it impossible for them to come in the office.
Keegs killed them.
You actually killed a potentially very successful franchise.
People are afraid
It was
of
going like this,
confrontation.
and then Kelly killed him, and it went like that. So.
I just don't know.
But here's something
But can you imagine not coming in and at least like standing up for yourself, yell at me, do something, get in a fight with me, like what's?
This is what gets confusing around, and it's part of the other argument. Not everybody's the same. So some people,
you guys are sociopaths, you and Kirk.
some people don't like confrontation. Like Smitty, that shower scene. I don't really go at him in this because he can't take it. He's like, he doesn't have that DNA. So I just let him.
What happened, and now I know, and I never did again.
Yeah.
Oh, I
the other day I
only
said,
once. I only killed the person one time. I didn't kill her a second time.
I didn't think it was
you
going to be a kill
turned-
shot.
It wasn't just you. You like
the whole office.
Yeah, you
Well,
really made people hate
Queen Bee shit.
I think that I don't know. I think it was like a bubbling below the surface about attitudes, and I think that maybe
That's crazy.
Everyone
For
thought
no
it was
reason, really.
No, they had bad attitude all the time.
Why?
And I don't know. I don't know.
Like Alex definitely didn't. She
turned.
fought in R&R like she was.
She didn't for a long time, and then all of a sudden they had a bad attitude, and that's what I said. I said I knew Alex on BVA. We did BVA together. We stayed in the same hotels together. Like we were friends, and then suddenly no more. Like it wasn't that we weren't friends anymore, but it was like. I don't know.
And this was before your blog or something.
This was way before. Yeah. Oh, like a year before we were friends, and we were friends for a long time. You know, I went to our birthday party. Like it was all fine, and I think that like I don't know. Sometimes I feel people get swept up in the glamour, swept up in the lights and all that, and they want to kind of look for other things. And I think that that's kind of what was going on.
Well,
and I don't think people liked it.
They're gone.
They're gone.
They're dead.
You did your
Sorry.
job.
I'm sorry about that. I'm sorry about it. As long as I'm not in trouble for it, then.
Two bodies on her jacket now.
People don't get. They have. I think I was saying this a little bit. They have I think 500,000 followers on TikTok, 250 on Insta. For me to go hire two girls who have that, I would pay them a shit ton more than they were getting here. But Keegs murdered them, so we'll just have to go start over.
You can't pay dead people. That's
Just have to go build up another something. So they're dead. But whatever. Just let Dave deal with it. Thanks, Keegs.
Sorry, Dave. I'm pretty sorry about that.
So yeah, the end of the Mean Girls era. It burned hot and bright, and was it twice as hot and half as long, or whatever the phrase is?
Yeah. I guess I just don't. If I'm the opposite. If people are mean and they're like, call me out or whatever, I feel like I go twice as hard.
I know, but
spite. I run on spite, I guess. I run more on spite.
Two different types of people,
Yeah, I guess.
That one was sick. I got that.
The Diamondbacks changing their logo and uniforms is one of the dumbest decisions ever.
That
purple and green back.
But when
Purple and teal, every team that came about in the 90s.
But people always say that. But then the Diamondbacks colors sucked. It's just now we look back.
It looked cool.
But their logo right now is really good.
The D is sick.
The white hats are hard out. The Mets.
I love a sick D.
The Mets wore a white hat for 1 year. I have one of those. White hats rare in baseball.
Yeah, that is very.
But no, there's another one. All right, look at
snake all the time.
Look at that snake.
Yeah,
no, they don't use that one. Go down to the
snake is cool.
Go to the snake head. Do you figure out what that is?
That
D and B, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, Diamondback.
It just looks like a snake
No,
head.
to the
but
bottom
it's DB.
left.
Where do you see DB?
Right
down there.
Oh, that one. Oh, that one's way more clear. Yeah. That's a good one.
Sick.
Yeah, I think the standard A in the maroon and black doesn't do it.
No, it's like it's a snake sideways, right?
Let me see.
The standard A. Yeah, look at it's got like the forked tongue as the A in the middle. So it's like a real minimal snake. No, the A.
I never noticed that.
Yeah, see, turn your head sideways, and then you'll have like the diamonds on the back, and then it's got its mouth open with the forked tongue, right?
No, I don't see it. Which way?
Are you
Sideways.
just making us look stupid?
No. Why else would the A bar in the middle be shaped like that? Turn your head left.
A snake.
You see how it would have the? You see how it would have the? It's the head with the mouth open.
Wait, go Q point.
Yeah, kinda.
So this is the top of the head. It's got the Diamondbacks, bottom mouth, fangs, tongue, forked tongue.
Yeah.
What's on the right where it's all red?
You're gonna drive me fucking crazy, dude. What are you talking about?
all red.
It's its head. It's a snake head.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
It's just its head.
I'm simply not.
I didn't notice
seeing
that
it.
till today.
I can't wrap my head around it.
Animal Planet does the same fucking thing with an alligator head, right? Or maybe Discovery.
I didn't notice that till today, but that's good.
That's fine, right?
Yeah.
It weeds out all the fucking dumbasses.
Yeah, I still can't see it.
How can?
It's my one weakness. I can't see the Diamondback logos.
That's Tommy's.
Everyone knows.
That's a huge red flag.
I'll never date a girl again.
Can you just open up that fucking snake head and just draw an eyeball on it for Tony? Or Tommy.
God, you moved to Chicago, you forget my fucking name?
Thank you, John Rich. Mm-hmm. We'll probably like up a little bit more.
No.
I would put it up more. I'd put it like up at the nose, right?
Yeah, like there.
Yeah, that's probably.
I see it more now. I just don't think it's really that clear.
Well, logos are meant to just be like the idea of it.
Yeah.
I was honestly, what I see more is the snake head in the white empty space. That looks like a snake head.
That's fucking asinine, dude.
You don't see that?
Oh,
you're an idiot. Nick's the idiot.
It looks like the top of a snake head. Like looking
that's what I'm
down
saying.
on
You're looking down like you have like a bird's eye view of
Yeah, that makes
Wait,
sense.
Tommy. Well, maybe that's what it is. No, because why would it have just the
I mean, when you put a dot on it, like an eye, like this looks like a cartoon character now. It's so obvious. Yeah.
Yeah, it's just not really well done. Like,
it's pretty well. Look at that.
all right, that's the rundown.
How are you going to yang Frank the Tank's Yang? Because he is a miserable fan.
Yeah, he's miserable.
And he is the opposite of you.
You know, I believe everyone comes into someone's life for a reason. And I think I'm going to be able to make him a little bit more positive with the Dolphins. I think that's kind of why I was brought in here, to be honest.
Really?
I think that was my
like
mission.
It's divine intervention?
Yeah. Like, I was meant to change Frank's heart on how he fans for the Dolphins. The Mets, they're fucked. Like, he will never change his heart on that team. And I'm not a Mets fan, so I don't care. But if I'm out here talking with Frank each and every single day, I'm just going to feed him positivity until he starts becoming positive.
signs.
No,
He said the
I
signs.
can't do this. I don't need to find out.
Jay knows.
We're fine. Give me the glasses. Give me the glasses. Go on. Don't come in here on this bullshit, Jerry.
He's a cheat code.
Don't come in here on this bullshit. I
And
win
then
for the
even
Steelers.
Jack Hughes is out for the.
No one cares about Jack fucking Hughes.
Something he said that best case scenario is he plays next year. It's over. It's how it's going. Have a nice trip. See you next fall. Hey, Devil fans, you're not making the playoffs. His head was spinning. I hate Scott Van Pelt. Every time I play him, he smiles. I hate his smile. I hate his head.
So it sucks you won't share a gambling cave with him because he's going to be in New York, but it would be
that
on
would
you.
be electric.
It would be
if
on
me
you.
and him were sitting next to each other watching a Dolphins game. It'd be because don't get me wrong, like I'm optimistic now, but if shit goes south, I'm kind of worse than Frank. I'm all good now.
I'm sure.
But,
I could see that.
Like when the Dolphins are losing live, I'm a problem.
But you're going to have to be the guy when it goes south to tell Frank to be quiet like Stephen Shea did last year.
Frank, shut the fuck up for 5 minutes. Jesus Christ.
I don't know if you ever seen
I
that.
saw
clip.
that. He's like, "Shut up, Frank!" Like they're.
Shut the. I've never seen Stephen Shea like that. That's an all-time clip.
That's great.
an all-time
I can only
clip.
imagine like what the fans are thinking that sit around Frank when he just goes on his fucking rants.
Oh yeah.
I mean, dude, he's a legend now. He got an escort out of the Yankee Stadium.
Yeah, and he had like not TMZ, obviously, like little fucking 22-year-old kids all over him, like taking pictures.
They were chanting him. He got a standing ovation leaving the stadium.
He's a tank, man.
Well, we'll get to you, losers, Nicky Smokes. Bears,
I'm not a loser.
No, Bears winner, and we'll start then, Dan, with you. Is this new guy, is Fields out now? Would you rather this guy be the quarterback of the future for the Chicago Bears? Because they looked a lot better without that Ohio State bum, who I've said is a bum since day one. Would you be better off with the new guy as your quarterback forever?
I'd like to see more. He played great. He's a great story. Division II.
So is it Fields holding you back?
No. Fields is playing good the last 2 out of the last 3 games before he got hurt. So no.
How many wins do the Bears have?
They have 2 now.
So they doubled up with this new guy. This guy won as many games.
No, I get it. No, it's fun. It's fun to win one. Even though we're in tank mode, it's fun to win one. Like you know, Dave.
I don't know that I'm in tank mode. And let's look.
You gotta pick a side. You gotta pick a side, Dave.
Let's look
Last
across
week
the.
you're talking about
Let's
Caleb
look
Williams,
across the.
Caleb
Let's
Williams,
look
now
across
you're
the
best team
AFC
ever.
East. Let's look across the AFC East. The Buffalo Bills. They didn't look good.
They're bad.
I'll tell you, Mac Jones outplayed Josh Allen. Patriots looked like they're ready. We just hear that Bill Belichick signed like a long extension. The boys came out ready to roll for him. Then I go look at this team, and I live in Miami. Soft. Like their colors, teal. They go play real teams. They get punched in the mouth. They can't beat a physical team. We have Miami this weekend. What happens if we beat Miami in Miami this Sunday? Suddenly the division is ours. So no, I'm not in tank mode. Mac Jones looked like what I thought Mac Jones was yesterday. Super Bowl caliber quarterback. He gets some protection. Let's go back. We played the Eagles a hell of a lot better than the Dolphins did. That's for sure. We should have beaten them. If Booty gets his feet in bounds and a fumble, we have 2 wins. Could have beat. So Dan, I'm confused. I thought we were tanking, and now I don't know. We're 2-5. There's a lot of football left, and I'm not impressed by anybody in the AFC East. Nicky Smokes has never seen. Have you even won a playoff game since you've been alive?
No, I've been in 3 playoff games. Lost all 3.
Exactly. So you don't know what it looks like. I do. I've seen 6 Super Bowl rings, 34 AFC titles. I've seen it, Nicky Smokes. You don't have it.
Right now. You're going to tell me with a straight face right now that this Patriots team can win a Super Bowl? You're drunk. You're drunk, Dave. Like, there's no way. I know you're Miami.
Did you just see what we just did to the Bills?
You have your own look. You have
We
your own
just
high
dominated
noon.
the Bills.
You're shipping all day. Dave, they're 2-5. This is not a good football team. What are we talking about?
I mean, we just beat a team that crushed you.
That's a fact.
Let's go back. Let's go back to last week.
You'll have your time to do your talking Sunday. You'll have your time to do your talking on Sunday, Nicky.
You guys are 2-5. You are the definition of middle of the pack.
You played 2 teams that were supposed to be good, us not included. They both punched you in the face and broke your nose.
Did we not beat you in Foxborough?
Barely.
We beat you at Foxborough.
That's because that's the booty game. That's the booty game. He didn't get his feet down.
So when you lose this Sunday in Miami, like you always do, you're going to be 2-6. And then what tune are you going to sing? Is it Mac Jones is still the guy we're going to the Super Bowl?
No, listen. If we're 2-6, it's an uphill battle. I have to do myself. I think you guys are dead. I think you're dead in the water.
I think we're dead. We're in first place in the division. How are we dead?
That's because we beat the Bills.
That doesn't matter. If we're going to sweep you,
and now we're going to beat you. We're going to beat everybody.
Dave, there is no
Tua
chance.
is so soft. You guys play good. Do you see Mac
be careful
hang
with
in?
the Tua.
Did you see Mac hang in there on that third down?
Mac
Blitzer
is
coming
the biggest wimp.
right on the money.
In the league.
What's that? Didn't he? What?
Mac Jones is the biggest wimp in the league.
How do you figure that?
Have you seen him get hit? He makes that little girl face.
Well, at least he does. At least he doesn't. His brain doesn't leak out the side of his ear, and he has to miss the rest of the season.
Wow, now we're making fun of injuries for concussion.
Well, you said he's the whip.
Fucked up, Dave.
You said he's a whip.
It's not injury. That's not injury.
Oh, time out. A concussion is an injury.
Yes, it is, and you're making fun of it. Mac Jones.
No, I'm
being
not.
a wimp,
My guy doesn't get hurt. If one guy doesn't get hurt and one guy does, who's the wimp?
Your guy gets benched for Bailey Zappi.
What are we going back in time? Your guy got benched in the national championship. That's a coward.
No, he didn't.
No,
he
he
came
didn't.
in and won.
Yeah,
the
didn't.
Got it reversed.
Oh, he got hurt.
Yeah.
No,
he got hurt in the
Hurts
other one.
got benched. Tua came in, won the national
Didn't
championship.
Hurts come back in Georgia?
championship-
Fine,
SEC
Georgia.
championship game,
SEC
Tua got hurt.
championship.
Yes.
Yeah.
Your guy
He got
gets hurt
hurt.
every
He
3
got hurt.
seconds.
Not
Nicky,
this year. Hasn't missed a
Question
game.
for you. Question for you. I'm enjoying this very much because you've never dealt with Dave, and so it's like fresh blood, like fresh meat. Like you're trying to fight him a certain way that you'll never
Oh,
win.
we're on equal footing. We'll see what happens on
Same
Sunday.
team right now. Nicky, I put the Dolphins on fraud watch.
Oh, they're frauds.
And the Lions as well.
Frauds.
I won't say they're all the way fraud, but fraud.
Danny,
watch.
tell him about apple picking season. Tell him about it.
I mean, Nick, you've beaten some really bad teams early in the year.
The weather doesn't
starts after
change.
Thanksgiving.
In South Florida, the weather don't change. He knows nothing about apple picking season. Nicky, your quick early wins, they don't matter. The leaves start falling, pumpkins start coming out. That's when football is played, and that's where we just absolutely hammered the Bills.
That's where you're wrong. That's where you're wrong.
You know about
Because
apple
this team's
picking
only gonna-
season?
This team's only going to get healthier. They didn't have their two starting corners.
Tell me how many playoff games you won in your life again.
0.
You've won 0 in your life?
Yeah, he's won 0.
I've never seen one.
He had the Dan Marino when they lost like
Oh,
70-7.
So who's going to
Matt
sit here and
Moore
listen to
and
this
last year.
loser talk to somebody who has so many Super Bowl rings? I've been carried out of Super Bowls. I've been to show Super Bowl parties. You don't know nothing about it. You've never won a game.
I don't.
You go and push fat people in Buffalo and be like, "Oh, get out of my way." You don't know what it takes. That you do that
Wow,
in
you just called the
80
chef
degrees.
fat?
Yes. When the weather
He's
turns
perfectly sized. He's 6'4".
and the
He's perfectly
leaves
sized.
start falling from the trees as apple picking season, that's when the Patriots start going like this, just like we just did last week. And now we're going to come get you. Now we're going to come get you in Buffalo.
So you think by the end of the year, the Patriots are going to have a better record than the Miami Dolphins? I want to hear this.
Yeah.
Please.
Yes.
This guy's hilarious.
Hilarious.
Holy shit.
Do you want to wear one of my rings to one of your squish parties and tell them that you know somebody who won a Super Bowl one time? Squish man?
Do you have a ring?
Of course I do. I got 6 of them, you dummy.
Let me see the ring. Let me see the ring.
They're still in Nantucket in the Hamptons.
Yeah. You don't have it yet. They didn't send you a
What?
ring.
Of course I do. What do you think? I travel back and forth them? I got 6 of them.
You
Show
don't
them the
have
clip.
them. They didn't send you a
Danny,
birthday
can we pull it? Hold on. I'll find it.
It says
Nicky,
Super
you
Bowl
can't
champion
win
Dave
this.
Portnoy on the ring. There's no way.
You
All right,
can't
hold
win
on.
this, Nick.
Hold
you
on.
can't win
Did you
this.
buy them at an auction or did they give it to you?
Okay, hold on.
Nicky, you just have to
Because you could
wait.
buy it off a broke player from the pawn shop.
Your only play, Nick, is to not fight it right now and hope the Dolphins kick the shit out of the Patriots. And then if they
Can
do,
you see this?
It's Brady, Belichick, Portnoy. So that's where it is.
You think I got no rings? I need him to see
Now,
it.
look. I'll tip my cap. That's a great video, great message. If the owner told me that, I'd come my pants.
But that he didn't send you a Super Bowl ring. He just said,
Of course,
you're
I'm
in
part of
right-
the team, you moron. I got 6
Unfortunately
rings.
for you, Nick, too, your owner is probably like Dave could be best friends with him tomorrow.
Of
if he wanted to.
course, the Beals, me and them
No,
are like
no,
this.
no,
But
Stephen
I-
Ross,
yeah,
the
I
Michigan
know,
man.
but Beal is
Yeah.
the number guy in their Patriot fans. I know what's going on in Miami before he does. It's crazy. If I want to take a snap next week, I could walk on the field and do it. But I'm not, because I'm a Patriot guy, and we're going to beat your ass next week. That's fine. So I didn't even want to come in here talking about the Patriots, but Nicky Smokes is such a
Miami
dumb.
owns Boston. We own Boston. We ruined the Bruins. We ruined the Celtics, and we ruined the Patriots. This is
What
in
do you mean you
2005,
ruined the
2006.
Let's just
We
start
own-
with
we own
let's
Boston.
start with the
We own
Patriots.
Boston.
What do you mean you ruined the Patriots? How?
You've never beat Tua. You've never beat Tua one
I have
time.
6 rings.
It doesn't matter.
You
Close
have
your
none.
yearbook.
You've never won a
This is
playoff game.
2023. This is not 2010. This isn't 2011. This is
6.
2023. You had a great run. Best run ever.
But
now
Miami has
owns
nothing to
Boston.
do with us. You guys are an irrelevant team. We'll move
What do you
on. I
mean?
didn't even want to
We're
talk.
not
I didn't even
trying to
want to talk
playoffs.
about the Patriots today. I didn't even want to talk about the Patriots, and you won't admit that you guys got your face kicked in by the Eagles.
No, we got kicked in, but can we admit the refs sucked? 10 penalties to 0, and the guy calling the game was banned from reffing the ACC championship game last year. I feel like that should be noted.
The ACC championship?
Yes, pull it up right now. His name is Duan Hyatt, an umpire who made multiple critical calls. His crew was suspended from the ACC championship game for unethical refereeing.
NFL guys do ACC?
I guess.
Who's
He might have
your
got a new job.
source? Who's your
Twitter.
source?
Twitter. Yeah.
Listen, I don't know. You and Frank the Tank, you like the two of you. I mean, it's tough. You're never gonna win anything.
Last night, Nicky Smokes was like, he was really down. He's like, I'm changing my life. I'm gonna give up booze. I'm gonna give up dumping sack. And then he tried to say that he was gonna start being misogynistic. He was like, I'm gonna be a misogenic. And we're like, what? What are you talking about? He was trying to say monogamous. And he's tell me he confused those two.
It's okay.
So, but he's back. He's back. He's already asked me where he can bang in the new office. He did a tour today, and that was all he was doing.
And I have a layer.
Okay, the next.
It's not yours.
Rundown today is November 27th. It is Cyber Monday. Doing something a little unusual today. We're going to do a 2-man rundown. Me and Big Ev. Busy weekend of sports. Let's start it off.
Tommy DeVito, big win for the Giants.
The big game.
Giants Pats Sunday.
Michigan, Ohio State. Ev, the floor is yours.
I mean, we had it and then we didn't have it.
When'd you have it?
When we were driving to win. After the drive where we did run it down your throat. It's a game of inches. I mean, the difference was the 2 interceptions versus no interceptions. I mean, 2 very good teams. I mean, I'm devastated. I don't know. We didn't get it done. We didn't get it done. I thought we were going to get it done. I was nervous coming into the game, but I was optimistic, like genuinely optimistic. The defense played, I thought, solid. I mean, they didn't make stops more in the second half. They made the one, I guess, at the end to give us a chance, but I mean,
did I see a stat that Michigan has only punted once in 3 games in the second half?
I think so. It's a problem. The defense this year wasn't the problem. The 2 years prior was the problem. It was a little bit like I think the football gods give and take it, that we had one of the better defenses I think we've had in the last 5 or 10 years. I think we've had. I don't want to knock him because I think he actually played a solid game in between the 2 tough throws, but had probably down at quarterback once we've had the last 6-7 years. That might be a change in the offseason. We'll see. I should have jumped out of the plane. I'm a pussy.
No. Don't be too hard on yourself.
I mean, it would take a few bounces our way, but there's a potential door opening.
On a scale of 0 to 10, how blue are you?
I'm sad. I wouldn't describe it as blue.
Blue is sad. I mean.
No, I'm devastated. Disappointed. I'm heartbroken.
Do you feel like you have nothing to live for?
Yes, yeah, I do.
Because like I hand up Patriots stink, Giants stink. Like Tommy
Yeah.
DeVito, you guys would have been better off not winning that game.
I don't believe that. But
Well,
I mean that's a different conversation. I'm just not I'm anti-tanking in general.
Yeah. Okay, so you have nothing to live for.
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct. That's correct.
Does it make you feel any better that these hoodies, which I have, by the way, the Ryan Day in the back, will add the score. It's our #1 seller by a mile. People are coming out of the woodwork to support Barstool and Michigan, men versus boys. Michigan being the men, you guys being the little boys because we keep beating the piss out of you. People are buying these hoodies. It's a great hoodie. So you in a way saved Black Friday and all these producers and stuff and social people. You're Santa in many ways.